Party king.
Hey.
Party king. Party king. Party king. PK. Call me Party king.
Yes.
Drunk off that gas. They got me hot off that gas. Hot off that gas. They got me drunk off.
What up, everybody? What up? Good morning to everybody out there. It's your boy AG.
This is Leanne. Good morning.
Hey, man, and welcome to Everything is Everything, where on this show and this podcast, we talk about everything. We talk about me. We talk about her. We talk about current events. We talk about drama. We talk about fashion. We talk about fights. I mean, whatever you can think of, we talk about it. And that's what this podcast show is about.
Well, good morning to you.
They really know how to hook us up in here, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Well, they got us a little liquor up in here.
Yeah, it's a little early for me, though.
They got the hollows ridged out up in here.
That I'm excited to talk about.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I should have Gatorade, water, or mixed drink. Or maybe I'll put all three of them motherfuckers together. Don't they have something like that called a kamikaze or something like that? A kamakissi?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's called.
So, well, I guess we should start off with today's date. So, today is Miss Beautiful because I don't know.
Today is March 11th, I believe.
Holy shit, we don't even know the date in this motherfucker?
No, we don't. It's the 12th.
The 12th, okay. So
that's the nice thing about.
Last night, I want to get into this right off the bat. Last night, I don't know if you tuned in, but I tuned in to the O.J. Simpson Lost Confessions.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy.
Really?
Absolutely crazy. I could not get enough of everything that he was saying. It just made me, I don't know if it made me angry or if it made me, I don't know what it made me.
Well, I can tell you this. I was a young teenager. What the fuck is that noise?
I'm trying to turn it down.
We're live on the air?
Here we go,
Fucking up over here already?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear us or not. They gave us some new fancy mics over here, so I'm not sure if you guys can hear us or not. Hopefully, the broadcast is clear for you guys. But so listen, I was a teenager, and I remember the OJ trial, but I really couldn't comprehend it because you're young, being a teenager, and I really couldn't comprehend it. But I do remember it being a big deal.
Oh, definitely, I remember it being a big deal.
I'm from the Western New York area.
Yes,
and you were born in
Buffalo,
mm-hmm. And now reside in North Carolina.
Yes, full time.
So, it was a big deal for you guys too, for everybody in Buffalo too, right?
Correct.
Right. Now Buffalo, I don't know, I know everybody from the Western New York knows about Buffalo, but a lot of people around the world don't know about Buffalo. Buffalo, besides the host of the Buffalo Bills, which we'll get into that, is a population of what would you say?
A million, maybe.
A million, somewhere in there, maybe. I would say more like 400,000, 500,000, but we'll see. We'll get the stat up there for you here in a minute. But anyway, it was a big deal. And I remember specifically saying to myself, OJ didn't motherfucking do it. There's no way he could have did it. OJ didn't do it. So, the last 20 years, I'm with the Juice. Juice didn't do it. If the glove don't fit,
you must have quit.
You must have quit. But then I watched that TV series, The People vs. OJ, with starring Cuba Gooding Jr. and John Travolta.
That was a great show.
It was a great show. And after watching that show, I said, this nigga might have did it. But then I realized it's Hollywood, so they're going to paint that picture however for you. So I still stuck by my original, he didn't do it. But last night, live in front of millions of people, The Lost Confession was played on Fox.
He did it.
Hypothetically speaking,
he did it. There's no question.
The nigga might be hypothetically guiltier than a motherfucker. Is all I can say.
He did it.
He might be hypothetically, killing motherfuckers on the low.
Yeah. You could say that.
I gotta tell you this. The interview was disturbing for most people, but for me, I mean, I don't understand why television would even air that. You know, regarding the families, which muster everything back up. But for me, it really painted me a picture of how guilty he just might be. I mean, let's look at the facts here. DNA was 99.9% OJ's, Ron's, Nicole's, in the Bronco.
There was blood in the Bronco.
In his house, his residence. His hand was cut. But he said something very strange in that interview. Besides the DNA matching, 99.9%, and besides all the other evidence, which is amazing amount of evidence, surprised that they fucked that case up. But at the end of the day, he said the words. I'm watching this interview, and what got me was, and I logged on today too, like this morning, to see if anybody else was thinking what I was thinking, and there was plenty of people that was thinking what I was thinking, and I keep hunching over, and one of those things was that he said the guy got into a karate stance, and that's when you seen OJ say, like, the real him came out, and he said, "Oh, you think you can kick my ass?
Right.
You think you can kick my ass?" And that's when I grabbed the knife. You know what I mean? And that was like, because, you know, for something about us brothers, or something about us black men.
Oh boy, here we go.
When we're challenged, hypothetically gets thrown out the window. Because you can be like, "Oh, I'll hypothetically jump over that building right now. Or I'll hypothetically walk over that building. Nigga," and then you go to I will run through that building. And that's exactly what OJ did live on that interview.
Right. Well, not only that, but talk about how full of himself he was through that whole thing. Like, he didn't care one way or the other what anybody thought. He was going to, and then when he would go from using his alter personality Charlie to using the word it was just, the
shit was fucking creepy.
Terrible.
It was creepy as
awful.
fuck. It was creepy as fuck, and I gotta tell you, I was highly disturbed of it. But at the end of the day, I'll wrap up this subject. Is OJ guilty or not guilty?
He's guilty. He was always guilty. He's going to continue to be guilty, and his children have to pay for his behavior.
I'm going to go ahead and say, OJ, not guilty. The juice is loose.
Guilty.
The juice is loose. Hey, fuck that shit. So, what should we? I don't know. I mean, we're kind of just going through there. I mean, they gave us some topics, some subjects, but we're just gonna kind of give you our option. One thing I want to talk about is Hollows Ridge.
The movie trailer was released on Saturday.
It was.
Very exciting. Very, very exciting.
It was launched. Everything would look good.
Oh, it was beautiful.
My cast members are good. Everybody wants to know the juicy details and secrets about the filming of this project, the making of this project, how I got involved, all the way down to the drama and the juicy tales of the tape that were on the set, and who was the best on the set. I learned a lot from a few actors on this set that really taught me something a lot. Thomas Gibson taught me a lot. Tom, what's Tom's last name? Tom
Delano.
Delano. Sorry if I murdered your name, Tom. He taught me a lot of things, and Tim Whalen was awesome.
Yeah.
Taught me some things on set. But you know, you don't necessarily like everybody you work with, but you got to be professional. But I will say this: I enjoyed everybody on set. I enjoyed the crew. I enjoyed the cast. A lot of us were real different, you know, but
I think you all vibed very, very well.
16 months on and off set.
I thought that all of your chemistry was incredible, and that's something you don't get very often. So
Right.
I think the put together everybody complimented each other in their abilities. So I thought it was a great cast.
Right. I mean, and the beauty of the cast, like everybody just looked fabulous and fantastic. Very attractive. Paola, very attractive. Phaedra Lewis, very attractive. My co-star, Yobi, you know, Amanda, Kristen, you know, they're all very, very beautiful, young, talented young ladies, and I think you guys are in for a treat with these guys. They got us everything. They got the posters, they got the merchandise, shirts here.
Yep.
I mean, they're really going all out for this project, and I'm very proud to be a part of this film. It's been a long time coming. People think it happens overnight. It doesn't. I've been pushing towards this goal for the last 17 years of my life. Had some success, but I failed a lot. But I've conquered a lot, and I mean, I don't want to give away too much, because, you know, I'm sure I'm gonna have to do interviews on these, and I don't want to give it away here. But you're fucking here with the AG and Leanne for everything and anything and everything podcast. I mean, they're fucking up the name already and shit. So, but the articles in the Times Herald, get ready to be at the Buffalo Times. I seen it in the Cell Make Press.
Yeah.
You know, they got people out west sharing it around. It's being shopped to a few distribution companies and distributors, and we're looking to hit AMC theaters this year.
It's going to be very, very, very exciting.
That's a big deal, because check this out. You got known actors like Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal and motherfuckers like this that can't even get in the theaters.
That's true. That's true.
And we in this motherfucker.
Yes, it's definitely something to be proud of.
The one thing I will say is my brother and business partner, he deserves a lot of credit for writing this script. Then the 20-year cinematographer who got involved with this script and decided to take on some of the... He's been 20 years in the business in Hollywood of doing filming and pictures and cinematography, and he's just been an amazing asset to this film. And also for my brother who wrote it. When I first read the script, I was like, this shit has the formula to what, you know, the cult following people love. It has that formula to sex appeal, excitement.
It's a great movie.
I mean, you've seen most of it.
I am looking forward to sitting in the movie theater and watching this movie. It's just a great movie.
Here's what I say, man. I mean, of course, you know, everybody wants to know what the budget was and stuff. You know, I don't get into the politics of it, but I know the numbers up there. It's a high quality shot in 4K. You know, cameras that are, you know, $5,000 lenses, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 cameras. I just know that I don't get into the numbers aspect of it. I know it was a lot. I know they paid me good. I can just say that if you go to this film and you laugh a couple times, you may jump a couple times. You may there's some sex appeal in there. All I can say is, overall, if you come out of there liking it, loving it, I understand why. If you come out of there hating on it, well, fuck you.
I don't think
If you can do better, then do better. If you knew better, you do better. So, anyways, I just want to say, fuck it, man. Hollows Ridge, man. Make sure you're following around on Facebook. Make sure you're checking it out at Hollows Ridge the movie on Facebook. Make sure you're checking it out on Instagram, IMBD, and
IMBD.
Look for commercials and previews on TV.
Be pretty exciting future.
Yes, so check that out. And I got a book which is coming out, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yes.
Which goes along with the podcast show, which is basically the book tells everything and anything and anything and everything. I just go over in that book, man. I just discuss my childhood, my upbringing, life, my criminal background, my criminal record, my siblings, my music, my acting, my being a comedian, how it all started, some of the fails and the setbacks in life, some of the adversity, just everything in there. And you've been a big part of that.
Yes, I have.
So that's pretty awesome. So I'm pretty excited. Sorry, my phone went out. It's pretty unprofessional. But enough about that. Enough about me. We'll get into that throughout the other episodes.
Right.
But what are some of the topics we have today that the fans have? Oh, by the way, if there's a topic that you want to talk about, or you want us to discuss it, or if you want to come on as a member of our podcast show, you can hit me up at Adam Gayton on Facebook, or you can email me at adamgayton27@yahoo.com. That's adamgayton27@yahoo.com. We're going to talk about everything and anything. That's what I'm talking about. So what are some of the topics we have today?
Some topics we would like to discuss today. We can talk about, let's see. Oh, UFC fights. UFC 223 is coming out.
UFC 223.
April 7th. Couple weeks.
You see how they hooked us up with the little fight gear and stuff up here?
I know, right? That's because we
those are the same fucking gloves Conor McGregor was whooping Floyd Mayweather's ass in the first round. And then those are also the same gloves that Conor McGregor got knocked the fuck out in by Floyd Mayweather in the 10th round.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
It was a good fight. Yo, the build up to that fight was legendary. Was it or was it not? I mean, some people didn't like it.
Absolutely was.
Some people didn't like it because this, that, and the other. There's a lot of trash talking, but man, I loved every ounce of it, every bit of it.
Oh, I agree completely.
I couldn't get enough of it. And now they're saying that Conor is gonna fight Floyd in the octagon.
No, that's
True or
never
false?
gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
Oh, you're crazy.
No, it's never gonna happen. I'll tell you why it's never gonna happen.
Go ahead.
Because there's no way that Floyd Mayweather is going to go on anything and lose. And you know he will. You know he will, and he is not going to jeopardize himself and his reputation to get into the octagon to lose. He's not going to do it. Not going to do it.
90% of the public on the poll agrees with you. Floyd will not get into the octagon. Floyd will not fight Conor McGregor. But I am here to tell you different.
No, you're wrong.
And let me tell you why.
All right, tell me
Miss
why.
Leanne.
Tell me why.
One, he is a black man, Floyd Mayweather. And black men believe in their heart they can whoop anybody at any time. Now, also, he has nothing to lose. No one expects him to get in to the octagon and win. So there's no pressure on Floyd. It doesn't go against, it doesn't go against his 50-0 record. It doesn't go against his 50-0 record. So he's already established that, and he's already solidified himself as the greatest boxer that's ever walked the planet Earth. And you can go on and try to argue that with Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson or Jerry Lewis or but it don't matter. When you're 50-0 You're the best defensive boxer on the planet. I'm sorry, my phone is blowing up. I apologize. I should have turned it off. I didn't. But you're the best defensive boxer on the planet. Now, with that being said, no one expects him to win, so it's a win-win situation for him. He's the best striker in the world who only has to learn some defensive leg kicks and some defensive takedown. And he's training with the welterweight champion, who's arguably the greatest champion of all time besides GSP, Tyrone Woodley. So now you add those three factors in together, you say, okay, that's a lot. But then you put the icing on the motherfucking cake. He's going to double his revenue. He made $350 million with endorsements. Everything is $1 billion for that fight. He is going to double his revenue inside the octagon. So you're going to double the money you made from the first Conor McGregor-Floyd Mayweather fight. You're training with one of the best welterweights of all time, Tyrone Woodley, and you're one of the best strikers in the world. Plus, no one thinks you can win. So he can stroll right on in there, knock Conor out, or he can stroll right on in there, get knocked the fuck out. Either way, we're all going to tune in, and he is going to double his revenue.
I agree. He will double his revenue, and people are talking about it. Like it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. For as much as I think you want to believe it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. He loves himself way too much for that to happen. So, and that's the truth.
So you think his ego is going to stop him?
Absolutely.
From being a stud?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We gotta get that to stay on here. We're getting emails when it comes in, so if you see us kind of reaching over here, we're just kind of checking out the emails and stuff. But yeah, man. So I think Floyd's gonna. I think Floyd's gonna get in there. Do you say Floyd's gonna get in there? No. Yes or no?
No, I don't. I don't.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Well, let's get into here to UFC 223.
Yes, 223.
Give me the fight card for UFC 223.
Well, the main event is Tony and Khabib.
Tony Ferguson and Khabib.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! You want to talk about fireworks? I got a lot to say about that. Let's just stop right there. Let's just get right into it. I don't like the shows where they lollygag. I figure we get right into the shit. You know, some people watch their podcast for 2-3 hours. We're not like that, man. We're 15-30 minutes in, one and done. Bop, bop, bang! You get it. We got it. You good.
Yeah.
Too much?
No.
Too much.
Never too much.
Tony Ferguson, Khabib. Man, I get excited when we talk about fights. This is something that when they wanted me to do this, I was excited for, because normally I do it with my friends and her anyway. Big shout out to Jason Clemens. Big shout out to, that's my fight partner right there. We talk fights all the time. Big shout out to Jason Clemens Hair Salon. Ladies, if you need your hair did, you know where to go.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, so Tony Ferguson is a unique individual. He is very, very unique. He's different, but he is a master at what he does. And Khabib, the way he mauled Barbosa was unheard of. It was absolutely unheard of.
I think it's going to be a great fight, but down to it, who do you think is going to win?
I gotta tell you, man. You know, I hate when everybody goes, I don't know, my heart goes here, because I'm one of those people too. But I'm here to give you the facts. Khabib is going to out wrestle Tony Ferguson, and he is going to take everything Tony has to give. But Tony is not going to be able to give. If Tony wins this fight, I'm going Khabib for my pick. But if Tony wins this fight, it will be because Tony Ferguson has the biggest heart in the game, next to the Diaz brothers.
I agree.
He has the biggest heart. Heart will not let him fail. So Khabib is going to have to, the ref's going to have to stand in and say, okay, he can't take no more, or Khabib's going to have to put his lights out, because Tony Ferguson will keep coming at you. But at the end of the day, Khabib's going to be too much for him.
I agree. I agree.
Give me somebody else on the fight card. Who's the co-main event?
Rose and Joanna.
Ooh, the rematch
The rematch. The one we've been waiting for. Was it a fluke? Or is Rose that good?
I gotta tell you a story real quick before we get into that. Her and I went out to New York City for some business. And we actually went to the Madison Square Garden and met Joanna Jacek and Rose. And we were at the open workouts at Madison Square Garden.
It was fun.
Beautiful time. If you haven't seen that video, I posted it online. GSP, Rose, Joanna Jacek, Michael Bisbee, we were all there. I think it was UFC. I'm not sure what it was. Was it 214? Maybe somewhere in there. 217. I don't know what it was, but it's on my YouTube. So make sure you check that out. It's like you'll see. But I thought for sure Rose had a chance then, but I knew I had Joanna Jacek last fight against Rose by decision.
Right.
Because when I come to the women fighters, and I know I'm going to get a lot of blowback on this. When it comes to the women fighters, I respect their martial arts skills. I respect their heart. I respect their courage for getting in there, because I used to be a tough man fighter and a cage fighter and a backyard brawler. So I respect anybody that steps in there. But when it comes to the women fighters, I always pick the one that's going to win, the one that I would like to bone.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Here we go.
With that being said, I was pulling for Rose. Rose, if you're out there. Who does that?
I don't know.
I got this from some guy at the bar. Some guy at the bar looked at the bartender, and he goes, "Hey, I'm leaving." And the bartender was like, "All right, you drive careful." And he said, so now I've been doing it. But anyways, so I always pick the women fighter who I want to bone. So, but on this one, I'm going to go with an exact pick for skill. I believe Joanna Jacek is the better striker. I believe Joanna Jacek has the better stamina. But I believe Rose has the bigger heart, the stronger chin, and the more aggressive will to win. And that's why they call her Thug Rose.
It's going to be a good fight. I honestly can't tell you who I think.
Who are you taking? You got to pick somebody. Gotta pick somebody.
I think Joanna's gonna win. I think she underestimated Rose. I think she thought it was going to be a lot easier than it was, and she didn't. I don't think she trained as well as she could have, because she thought that it was not as serious as what it was, and Rose went and took the belt right from her. So I think that Joanna has a lot to prove, and that's why I think she's going to win.
I'm going Thug Rose.
So we'll see.
Thug Rose for the second one. All right, we'll give you one or two more of these. Who else is on the roster? All I know is that 223 is going to be in Brooklyn. So
yes,
at the Brooklyn Arena, where the Nets play, I believe. It's going to be awesome. So if you're in the New York area, make sure you're copping those tickets.
Anthony Pettis.
Showtime.
And Michael.
Almost fucked this whole mic up.
Chelsea. I don't know who that is.
Okay.
I honestly don't know who that guy is.
I know who he is. We all know who Michael Chelsea is. Chiesa is his name. That's my boy Rob Clemens' fighter. Michael Chiesa.
What do I know?
Hey, but you pronounce it good. I've been butchering names my whole life. Don't even worry about it.
I know who Anthony Pettis is, so I watched him.
All the females know who Anthony Showtime Pettis is.
That's right. That's all that's important. So I'm gonna pick. I guess I could make this fair and say I have to pick my fighter based on looks.
Hold on. I have to cut the commercial. I don't have to. Somebody. I want Showtime Pettis to win. He needs to win big time.
Oh, he does.
He needs to win. I mean, obviously he's a better striker, but I'm worried about Chiesa's wrestling. Pettis has had trouble struggling with guys that wrestle him down, hold him down, get him against the cage, and Michael Chiesa is one of those guys. Unfortunately, man, he keeps getting the Anthony Pettis keeps getting the shitty end of the deal, man. They never want to give Pettis a striker because he outstrikes him. So they always put in these grapplers versus strikers, which is great because it shows whose art form is more superior.
Right.
Even though you got to be well-rounded in all art forms of martial arts. But at the same time, for exciting fights, you put two stand-up guys together, it's a great fight. But what happens when you put two wrestlers against each other, or a wrestler and a grappler? It's not such an exciting fight.
No, it's not.
So that's why they keep putting classic matchups with striker versus grappler, because it's whoever opposes their will, and that's what makes the fight interesting. Even though we would love to see two strikers, but I guess that's what boxing's for. That's why they call this thing blood sport, mixed martial arts, baby.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with I want Anthony Pettis to win. I'm going with Anthony Pettis. I just think he's going to be in a lot of trouble with Michael Chiesa's wrestling.
I agree.
Last one. We'll do one more.
One more.
UFC 23. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby.
Let's see here.
Baby. I'm all the way up all the time.
Here. There is another one that I want to talk
about. Fight or flight is in session.
There's another one I want to talk about here.
Which one? Sorry, my phone is out of control right now. Come on.
Here it is. I'm sorry.
Give me one more.
Let's talk. Another girls.
Okay, give it to me.
Carolina. And Felicia.
Well, that's a pick'em fight. I really don't know who I would root for in that fight. I think they're both decent fighters. I think this is their big break to really get out there and put on a display. But if I have to pick, I'm gonna go Carolina.
I don't know. I think I think Felicia has a little bit more.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, I think she has a little bit more experience, and anyway, I think it'll be her all the way.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Hoosman Rafi, who owns the Bistro with Ashi. Hoos is my boy. If you haven't been there to eat, make sure you get out there and get some food. It's great food, best in the area. If you're in the Western New York area, and if you're visiting the Western New York area, make sure you go in there to Brothers Bistro and get yourself something to eat. But here's what I want to give him a shout out for. Hoos always has the saying when he's tipsy. He'll say, "Why don't you go out in the middle of the road, my friend, and kill yourself?" Deuces.
That's right.
So when I told him I need that as my ringtone.
Yes.
So when people I don't like call my phone, I'll know it's them because my phone will say, "Why?" In Hoos's voice, he'll say, "Why don't you go out in the middle of the road, my friend, and kill yourself?" Deuces. So big shout out to my boy Hoos. We're gonna get into some real talk right now. I'm reading these emails right now, and yo, there's some crazy topics on here. Let's just go ahead and get into one that's way off the charts. Aliens.
Do they exist or don't they? That is the question.
Do they exist and don't they? So everybody's been watching these ancient alien TV shows. What I think is garbage, but very interesting. I think it's garbage, but very interesting television. Television is supposed to be interesting. Ancient Aliens is very interesting. I love watching it, but I don't really get tied up into it. I know Joe Rogan. We just seen Brandon Schaub live. Talked to him a little bit about the Joe Rogan experience. Joe talks about it very passionately on his show. But we all know Joe likes to toke that. So nothing wrong with that. To all my weed smokers out there, hopefully you're getting high and listening to this right now. Man, give me a drink of that liquor. No, I'm gonna wait. And then you got your people and all the documentations of all the years of everybody that's been abducted. And I mean, if you follow all that stuff, there's some eyebrows being made. All the pilots and astronauts and people that.
All right, the question I have for you now.
I'm trying to get to my point here.
Right now.
I'm trying to get to my point.
I'm going to interrupt you. I want to ask you a question. Is Oprah Winfrey an alien or no? That's what I want to know.
Oprah Winfrey is a strong black woman. But she has alien tendencies. I will say this. I will share 2 of my alien stories with you. And maybe that'll shine light on this topic for you alien go-getters. And I'm sure we'll talk about this topic more and more as the shows, go on down the road. But we're really going to dig into this right now. I was living in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm living half my time in Phoenix, 6 months Phoenix, 6 months in Western New York. During this time, the Phoenix lights happened. Okay. I was in my condo. The radio station came over and said, we've been getting all these calls, thousands of calls, over 1 million people I think called into the radio station, 10,000 people, 1 million people that seen this phenomenon. I was one of them. They said go outside and look towards South Mountain. I'm trying to think of the name of the mountain that it was actually over. Enchanted something, I think it was. But I remember going outside and I seen this phenomenon and I couldn't explain what it was, and I just figured it was a part of Luke Air Force Base tactics. And that's what they try to make it out to be. But at the end of the day, what we seen there was a phenomenon. It was not from this world. Can't explain it. Didn't know if I'd ever see something like this again. And then all of a sudden, you may never see something like this again. So you can't take your eyes off of what you're seeing. These amber orbs is what they call, but back then we didn't know what the fuck they were. And then, let me fast forward you, because I think that was in the 90s, 2000s maybe, back then. Let me fast forward to 2017. I'm outside having a fire with Leanne. Yes. And we're enjoying a frosty beverage, Miller Lite. Make sure you I need to get I need that Miller Lite money, so make sure you sponsor me. Miller Lite, what up with you?
That's right.
So we're outside and we're having a fire, and my son had just left the backyard to go upstairs to do something, to get something, to go to the bathroom or whatever it was. And I look up at the sky and we see yeah, this thing, this same light that I seen in Arizona years ago over the Phoenix lights, do this number on us. It went shh, then it stopped, and then it took off like a Mach fucking 7.
Yeah, it was.
Did it not?
It absolutely.
I said, holy shit!
Right?
Leanne, did you see that? Because I thought I was bugging. Did you see that? And she said, yes. I think that was a UFO. I said, oh my God, I wish there was somebody else around here that seen that. I wish my son was down here. People are going to think we're nuts. Then my son comes walking around the corner. He says, around the house, he says, I seen that. And I said, holy shit, you seen that too? He's like, yep. Yes. So I got online the next day. I looked for some reports. There's over 1,000 people that seen that same thing over the skies of Weston Mills, I would say, New York, that day. So here's my theory. Here's my hypothesis. Are we the only species in the galaxies?
No.
Of all the galaxies? Absolutely not.
No.
Is what I seen an alien? I don't know. What I do know, it was a phenomenon. What I do know, whatever it was, because if you put it into the Bible, because I'm a church going man, which I bet you a lot of you guys didn't know, no one believes like AG believes. And you've raised a Christian household, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're a believer.
Yeah.
Of the higher power, our creator. our creator. And I can say this, whatever it wasn't human. Or the technology wasn't man-made, is what I can say. Now, I'm going to go on record and say that. I know how some people get weird to go on that. You know, when you have Leanne here, I come from the streets background. She comes from a nice upbringing, a good wholesome home. She has two degrees. What are your degrees in? You have a master's?
I have
and a bachelor's, right?
I have a nursing degree.
So nursing, and then
sciences,
science degree. She has all these degrees. She's a very intelligent woman. So that's why I love our chemistry so much, because I go off the wall street shit, and she tries to break everything down with logic.
That is true.
She tries to break everything down with logic. So that's why I love having her here. You know, when she when they pitched the show to me, the podcast, I decided, I was like, you know, she had to be with me for the show, because they wanted to find somebody, maybe like a C-lister celebrity or something like that. But I was like, nah, I got the perfect gal.
Oh yeah.
For this. So she's in here. So I could talk about this subject all day, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just it's a great subject for me to talk on. So I would say, between my Phoenix Lights experience, my backyard experience here, my backyard experience in Western New York, the good thing is this, we're going to be doing the podcast show. I think we're doing one episode a week, but I know when I travel, they got the travel equipment, so we'll be able to set up anywhere we go. So we'll always be, you know, once a week we'll always be giving you something. So it might be in a car, you know, it might be on the plane, it might be, but we're gonna give you something. But man, I like when they have us up here in the studio. God dang, it looks good.
Yeah.
So between my two experiences and my one experience that I shared with you, I would say aliens is definitely a subject I'd like to talk about. I would say yes, we are not alone, but at the same time, I don't think aliens are the special ones. I believe human beings, I believe we're the special ones.
Oh right, absolutely.
For everybody out there that feels like they're not worth anything, you're sadly mistaken. You are. The sun had to be just enough to the planet Earth without burning us up or killing us with radiation.
Yeah.
So that sun was just say that word for me, strategically put there.
Yes.
We had to have just enough oxygen on this planet, so the oxygen levels were strategically put here so we could live and breathe. Our bodies that are created had to have a way to get rid of waste. So that's why you piss and you shit. When people say we don't live long enough, I think we live a long time, because all the waste that's in your body, you get out through urination or defecating.
Right.
And that is strategic science.
Oh, absolutely.
And then to put a soul or spirit or energy inside of that vessel, that body, and have it do the things it can do and harness it is strategic. And science.
I agree completely.
And
I'm a science girl, so I
right.
believe that completely.
And then on top of that, if that's not good enough for you, man can't create new eyeballs, because eyeballs are not from this world. Man can create clone bodies, but they can't put souls or spirits or energy force, life forms in them. Therefore, that comes from a higher power as well. So for all you non-believers out there, you best start believing. Yeah?
I give you that.
Anything else you want to say about aliens? Aliens, are they real or not real?
I think you have to believe.
Have to believe. Well, there you go, folks. That's two yeses from us.
That's right.
I see a subject on here. We'll probably touch this base right here, and then we'll wrap it up for today. It says, speak on, AG, speak on today's rap music compared to nowadays rap music.
No, let's not talk about that right
Or today's rap music compared
because
to
it says not. And then after it talks about 6ix9ine, and
okay,
we can't go into that.
Okay, we're gonna do this before we wrap it up. Let's do this. I am a hip hop artist. I love hip hop. I grew up on hip hop. I talk a lot about this in my book about being biracial and mixed. What I call it, mixed. There's a word I use. This biracial is what the society uses. Multi-mixed culture. So there's not a racist bone in my body or in yours.
No, definitely not mine.
She actually adopted 2 African American children and raised them as her own.
They're African.
They were from where?
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. I don't know if you can speak up. They might not be hearing you.
Oh, Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone.
Africa is where they were born.
Okay. And we'll save that for a show.
Yes, that would
we'll
be
save
a good
that for a show. And we'll get into all that. So my thing is, the point I'm making here is, there's not a racist bone in her body. There's not a racist bone in my body.
Right.
And here's the thing: I grew up with all genres, and I speak about this in the book. You know, rock and roll, blues, hip hop, R&B and soul, heavy metal. You know, there's a difference. But I will say this: the music back in the day, in the 80s, was a feel-good music, and I love that. And the music in the 90s was more reality music, with Tupac and Biggie and Nas and Jay-Z and Wu-Tang and Onyx and Tribe Called Quest and Smith and Wesson, and I mean the list just goes on. Daz Effects, EPMD. So I love that era and that genre of music. Now I am trying to get in to the nowadays hip hop, and I will say this: I'm not gonna bash it, because I feel if these people are expressing themselves, then that's what they should do. But I also believe though, at the same time, there's a lot of shitty music out there. But even though the music's shitty, it's entertaining. And what I mean by that is, I believe music is like movies. It's entertaining. After we watch the movie like The Terminator, after we watch a movie of the Terminator killing everybody, we don't go out of the theater and kill everybody. So when I listen to music about partying or drugs or violence, I don't go out there and do that neither, because it's entertainment. It's the youth that can't separate entertainment from reality.
Right.
So these dumb motherfuckers are trying to live what they are seeing from these artists, and that's not cool. I don't dig that.
I agree.
I don't dig that. But there's one particular one my kids love. This. There's a rapper 6ix9ine. Ah, bop bop bop, blah blah blah,
no.
ra ra ra. That's my shit.
He looks like a clown. He acts like a clown.
Hey, I
can't.
He's entertaining. You got to give him. He's entertaining.
He is entertaining, and obviously he's got to be a little bit entertaining because we're discussing him right now. So.
Very true. Very true.
So he does. He has marketed himself amazingly, because we are talking about him, but I don't like his music. I don't like what he stands for. I think that if you're going to be a performer, you need to, and you have a responsibility.
I agree.
And he has blown it, and he looks like a fool.
Let me show you the difference. If my son or my daughter is playing 6ix9ine in her room and she's wilding out, enjoying herself, releasing some stress, I'm all for it. But if my son or daughter or child goes out onto the public and starts mimicking this, now it becomes uncool and embarrassing. So again, it comes to the separation. where the generation, the youth, have to be able to separate entertainment from reality.
Right.
And I think that's where the biggest problem is. You know what I'm saying? When the Doors was singing about getting high all the time and tripping on acid, it was entertaining.
Well, yeah.
Everybody loved the Doors. But if you went out and tripped on shrooms and acid and drank yourself to oblivion and drowned in your own vomit like Jimi Hendrix, ooh, check out the Hendrix shirt. That's my boy, Jimmy. If you're doing that, it's the same thing with nowadays generation. You have to put entertainment aside from reality. These rappers that live this type of life, and these artists that live this type of life, like the Doors, where are they now? You know, eventually they go to jail or they die.
I was gonna say, they're all dead.
Right, they're all dead. So if you want to mimic your artist, then you will probably be in jail or dead. So separate yourself from entertainment and reality. Enjoy the music, enjoy the movies, but separate. And as far as the question goes to my man, I love all music, and as far as the hip hop today versus yesterday, the beats are way better today. I'm not gonna lie to you. The beats today are way better than the 90s and 80s beats. Hands down. The music, the beats are way better today. But the lyrics of yesterday were way better and way more heartfelt and meaning. Which means if you could take yesterday's lyricists, put them over today's beats.
Oh, incredible.
Would that not be the shit?
It would. It would.
That's the key to success. I just gave you the formula for success.
That's right. Something positive.
There it is. I just gave you the key to success.
Yep. And
you normally, you know, when they get these phone lines working in here, you know, we'll take callers, we'll have guests in here, in and out of here. Like I said, if you want to be a guest on the show, then email me at adamgayton27@yahoo.com or hit me up on Facebook. Do not email Leanne unless you are a female. I'm just saying, her boyfriend might pop, pop, bang, chitty, chitty, bang on you, and then rah, rah, rah on you. But until next episode, anything you want to touch up on?
No, I think this has been enjoyable, and
all right.
I'll see you next week.
Sounds like a plan to me. All right, we're out of here, yo.